I am so grateful to Adovo and the prison systems like California and the Bureau of Prisons who allow us to bring our records in there and connect with so many people in prison, because we get these amazing letters. And these letters, you can see, are quite a bit. Why? Because we're connecting with several 100,000 people in jails and prisons across America. Many of those people would be really well served in society, serving their time on home confinement or in a work release program. I mean, we just incarcerate too many people per capita than any place else on earth. And that's one of the reasons it's like a personal ministry for me to try and help. But I have to try and help the best way that I can. I can't really do anything for one person except show people what did leaders like Mandela and Viktor Frankl and Frederick Douglass, how did they influence my adjustment, and how did that help? I mean, let's just say that I reached out to Mandela and said, can you help me get out of prison? That wouldn't have worked very well. That was not his role. His role was to teach other people how to develop themselves. And that's what he taught me. I do not claim to be anything like Mandela, but I will say I try to emulate him. And I'm trying to share with you lessons I learned from people like him. And that's why I'm so glad that I've had this opportunity to introduce you to our course, Preparing for Success After Prison. We're in our last lesson right now, and this is about integrity and building trust. And it's my hope that we've been together now for a 30-hour course. You've had all of these lessons to consider, these thoughts to consider, and I hope that you will find that I'm somebody who's committed to earning your trust, a person of integrity and working to earn your trust. And that's what today's lesson is about, Lesson 30, the last lesson in our course, but not the last lesson in your life, which I'll talk about a little bit on the other side after I read this. So the vocabulary word for today is integrity, the quality of being honest, of having strong moral principles, and adhering to ethical standards in one's actions and decisions. And remember one thing, regardless of where you are, regardless of what decisions you've made in the past, at any time we can choose to work to become better. That's something I've learned, and it's something I apply every single day. So keep that in mind as we work through today's lesson. And the lesson content is, Viktor Frankl exemplified remarkable integrity during his time as a prisoner in German concentration camps during World War II. Despite enduring immense suffering and witnessing unimaginable atrocities, Frankl demonstrated an unwavering commitment to his principles and values, serving as a beacon of integrity in the darkest circumstances. Officer Wilson passed me a book about Viktor Frankl when I was locked in solitary before sentencing. I had been confined in solitary for several months while I awaited judicial proceedings. Since it was my first experience in prison, the solitude saddened me. When I read the book about Viktor Frankl, a renowned psychiatrist, I remember feeling as if I had a model for how I wanted to emerge from prison, regardless of the sentence length I would receive. Dr. Frankl refused to compromise his belief or distort the truth, even when I faced with extreme coercion or threats. His integrity manifested through his unwavering honesty and authenticity, inspired anyone who read his story. His honesty extended to his interactions with anyone he met. Regardless of what atrocities he endured, he remained steadfast in upholding the dignity and humanity of others, offering support and compassion amidst the dehumanizing conditions. Dr. Frankl wrote about the importance of developing meaning and purpose in life, regardless of external circumstances. Despite the immense despair and hopelessness surrounding him, he refused to succumb to despair. Instead, he dedicated himself to finding meaning while going through unimaginable suffering. His pursuit of purpose, provided solace, and encouraged others to hold on to their humanity and strive for something greater. Dr. Frankl's integrity shone through his resilience and determination to remain faithful to his values. He refused to participate in or condone acts of cruelty, even if it meant endangering his life. In the face of dehumanization and the constant threat of death, he maintained his ethical stance, refusing to compromise his integrity for personal gain or survival. Understanding the concept of integrity is essential for personal development, particularly for people in prison. Honesty and authenticity. Integrity begins with being honest with oneself and others. It involves living aligned with our values and principles, being true to who we are, and representing ourselves honestly to the world. We build trust and credibility in our interactions by embracing honesty and authenticity. Dr. Viktor Frankl's writing is one of the reasons we begin our course with the module on defining success. We have to know who we are and what we aspire to become if we want to succeed. Ethical decision-making. Integrity guides ethical decision-making processes. It involves considering the moral implications of our choices and striving to do what is right, even when faced with difficult situations or temptations. Individuals with integrity prioritize ethical behavior and uphold moral standards. Consistency and reliability. We demonstrate integrity through consistency and reliability in our words and actions. As Gandhi wrote, we must keep everything we think, say, and do in harmony. We must follow through on commitments, keep promises, and be dependable. By practicing consistency and reliability, we build a reputation of trustworthiness and earn the respect of others. Accountability and responsibility. Integrity involves taking accountability for our actions and accepting responsibility for the consequences they may bring. It means owning up to mistakes, learning from them, and making amends when necessary. Individuals with integrity understand the impact of their choices and strive to make things right. Building trust and character. Integrity plays a role in building trust and character. It fosters healthy and meaningful relationships, both personally and professionally. By embodying integrity, we inspire others and create an environment of respect, openness, and trust. So here are your questions for the final lesson of our book. How do you understand the concept of integrity? Why is integrity important for personal growth and development, particularly during imprisonment? Share an example of a situation in prison where acting with integrity helped you maintain your values and contributed to your personal growth. How can living with integrity help you prepare for a successful life after release? What struggles can you employ to cultivate and demonstrate integrity during your imprisonment? Now, here's an activity. Reflect on a situation in which you faced a moral dilemma or had to make a difficult decision. Write about how acting with integrity influenced your choices and the outcomes that followed. Discuss the lessons you learned and how they contribute to your personal growth. Identify 3 personal values that are important to you. Describe how you align your actions with these values to live with integrity. Consider possible challenges and strategies to overcome them. Remember, integrity is the foundation of personal growth and character development. By living with honesty, ethical principles, and accountability, you build trust, strengthen relationships, and pave the way for success. Embrace the power of integrity during your time in prison and carry it as a guiding principle in all areas of your life. And now I would encourage you, if you want to write us at Prison Professors, 32565 Golden Lantern, Suite B1026 in Dana Point, California, 92629. And now we have come to the end of our course, but I hope it's not the end of your pursuit of success and your preparations for success after prison. Throughout this course, I've told you I would never ask you to do anything that I didn't do, and I pledged to show you all the ways that memorializing my journey helped to open opportunities. And I want you to be thinking about what opportunities can you open right now as you face this really challenging time of thinking about, okay, what's life going to be like? I had to answer all those questions. I used to lie in my cell and think, okay, what is it going to cost to settle myself in society? Because I've been in prison for 26 years. And I had to think, how am I going to build? Because I didn't know how. You didn't get those lessons in prison. I will continue to send lessons that I hope you will use. They'll be a part of our premium course at Adovo, but also I'll have books about them and things that you can get. If your family can visit prisonprofessors.com, there will be books available for you. But I remember lying in that jail cell and thinking about the challenges I would face when I got out, because I knew that if I didn't do something about it when I got out of prison, I wouldn't have any clothes, I wouldn't have a place to live, I wouldn't have a car, I would have no work history. I would be a stranger in my own country of America. And I knew I wouldn't get out until I was 49 years old, almost 50. And I thought I had better do something about it. And that's it's never too early, it's never too late to begin building that path. But the sooner you start, the better off you are. And very early in the journey, I set this goal that said, by the time I get out of prison, I will have enough money in the bank to live for a year without any income. And if you set a goal like that, that's super clear, well, you got to start kind of processing what is it to make it a SMART goal specific. You got to start processing, what does it take? How much money does it take to settle yourself first and then to live in society? That's a very useful exercise. It might be a little frightening, but it's useful. So think about clothes, vehicle, tools you may need to launch your career, housing expenses, furnishing a house, living, right? I mean, the number I came away with, I came away with a number, but I had no idea. I mean, I think I said like 50 grand. I need $50,000 to settle. And, I had double that. When I walked out of prison, I had like more than 100 grand in the bank. And what does that mean? For me, somebody had said 26 years in prison to have $100,000 in the bank after 9,500 days in prison. Well, how do you generate that? How do you build relationships and build opportunities that would result in that level of capital? Well, in Earning Freedom, I described how I did it. In Success After Prison, I describe how I did it. But my story is only a catalyst for you. You have to be the one that's preparing for success. You have to be the one that's thinking about all the obstacles that are waiting for you. Right now, you're getting your food every day. You're getting clothing. You got a place to live. It's not great. I know it. I get it. But when you get out here, there is no more meal, what do you call them, chow halls and, medical. And there's not, I'm not here to sell the prison system. All I'm saying is that when you get out of prison, if you don't have a plan, a really good release plan, first of all, you're not going to be in the best position to advocate for the highest level of liberty. But more importantly, you're not going to be in a position to advocate for the changes that we want to see. I am asking you to be a part of our community. Build an extraordinary and compelling release plan. Demonstrate your commitment to living with honor and integrity. Avoid problems that can disrupt the prison and instead find ways to contribute to the making of a better prison culture. Do that and memorialize your release plan and all the steps you are taking to define excellence, and then profile it. If you profile it on Prison Professor's Talent, it doesn't cost you anything, but we could use your story and highlight it with the corporate sponsors that we are out here talking about and say, look at Jim, look at Tom, look at Cheryl, look at, Shaniqua, look at Jose, look at all of these people that are sowing seeds for success. And you've got to be one of those people. And then by us profiling you, we keep the momentum going. I want you to be a part of our community, and I will never ask you to do anything that I didn't do. So if you want to participate, send us an email invite at interns@prisonprofessorstalent.com. We will do our best to continue providing ongoing resources that you can use to teach yourself. I want to thank Edovo. I want to thank Bureau of Prisons, California Department of Corrections, and especially all the teachers and reentry coordinators that allow us to come into your institution. My name is Michael Santos. I'm the founder of Prison Professors, and I believe in you. Thanks so much for being a part of our community. Please participate in the survey so that UCLA can document how we are working to help people in prison. And the survey follows. Thanks so much.